Welcome to another video of Dead by Daylight. My name is Cubeproductions. Today we're using a really interesting build using, of course, Skull Merchant. Using two perks that no one uses, the first one being Bitter Member. What this perk does, it unlocks one's aura reading ability, and every time a survivor completes the generator, all survivors who are 16 meters near that completed generator will reveal the location to you for 5 seconds. And then once every generator is completed, you can see the aura of all survivors for 10 seconds. No matter where they are on the map, by the way. Which is actually really good for the in-game and also for knowing where survivors are coming from. We have Scorch with Pain Resonance. We all know this perk does. Use this perk so that way you can basically stop generators when you're really far across the map and get value out of every single hook. We have Grip Embrace. Every time we hook a survivor for the first time, we gain a token. Once you gain 4 tokens, every single generator is blocked automatically for 40 seconds. And we can see the Obsessions aura for 6 seconds. This is one of the only buff perks, by the way, and I'm going to be using it in this video. And then we have Desolation. We hit a survivor, 3 seconds later the perk activates, and for the next 20 seconds, if a survivor passes while a pallet in our turret radius, Desolation will automatically break the pallet. We have Advanced Move Prediction, so we can see the aura of survivors, and we have Brand New Dreamer being Oblivious. But yes, we're going to be using these perks, and Grim Embrace is one of the few perks that got buffed this patch, so I'll be using that, and let's get straight to the game. See y'all soon. Sanctum of Wrath, one of my favorite maps on Skull Merchant. And in case you don't know, I love this map a lot because this map is very simple. The main building has 1 gen in it, or on top of it, and then the other side of the map has 3 gens, and the other side of the map has 3 gens. So I'm putting a drone on the main building like always. By putting a drone up here, I basically am able to protect that generator automatically. I look to my right, I don't see anything to my left, and I see 3 survivors. So I hit this Nicolas Cage, he runs right in front of me, but then he starts teabagging, and I'm like, okay. So then I just down him, because I'm like, might as well kill you. I kick this gen, and then he leaves the game, because he's like, I'm out. And then become a bot. He said, I'm not fighting against Skull Merchant, this killer is too strong, oh my gosh, I'm not fighting against her, and left the game. So I'm like, you know, it can't be a Skull Merchant video about a DC, of course. And of course, this video was actually recorded in the time where Nicolas Cage came out, so that means that there will be a DC and there will actually be a bot this time, so we actually have to deal with a 4th player and not just a DC. Which is fine by me. More people to kill, the better it is. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna put a drone over here, and I remember this because when I used my Trail Trimmer build, this is almost the exact same gen setup I had last time. But I seen someone go and get rid of my drone and they have a claw chip on them, so now I'm like, well, I'm gonna go after you. These 2 people are not running, so I'm assuming they have sprint bursts. But instead what happened was, I don't know if this girl is oblivious or she actually really did have sprint burst, but she just has sprint burst, but she wants me to hit her first, then use her sprint burst. So I'm like, okay. So this pallet is really unsafe. I tried to do something, I don't know what I was doing, but this pallet is really unsafe. So all I have to do is just, you know, do that little mind game. And then it hit me, wait, I have Desolations. I was like, oh wait, I have Desolation, I probably should have used that. Also, I'm really glad that the survivor, not DC, but I'm glad when he DC a bot happened, because in case you don't know, like I said, in the beginning of the game, we're using the perk Grim Embrace, and we're using the perk Bitter Member. Grim Embrace will never activate if a person DCs. So I'm really happy that they decided to DC and it actually made a bot, because we actually can use Grim Embrace, but it's sad. Because imagine before, if you had Grim Embrace, which no one ever used Grim Embrace anyway, but imagine you were using Grim Embrace, now you can't even use the perk, because now you can't even use the perk anymore because of the fact that the game wants to be like, well, someone left the game, you cannot hook every survivor 4 times, and you can't hook every survivor once, so now you're going to automatically lose this perk. But luckily for me, I'm going to still be able to down this Nicolas Cage. I'm going to hook him again, even though I didn't really have to hook him again, I just chose to. Normally I try and get the bot at the game first because bots are annoying. They don't really do much on. Normally they don't even do gens. They actually end up just doing nothing. But sometimes when you're chasing them, they're like better loopers than normal survivors. I mean, so I'm like, wow. Also, as you know right there, 1 gen got completed. But notice how I didn't get any Bitter Member value. That tells me one person has distortion. And I'm glad I brought Advanced Move Prediction with me, because I have Advanced Move Prediction, there's a chance that I could just use their distortion against them. Meaning, I'll take a token away from them every time I use it. So this girl is gonna go from a drone radius. I don't know why she's in the basement still. So I only hit her. She doesn't know where I'm coming from because she's oblivious. So I'm gonna chase out of this girl real quick. And now I have Desolation out of it, so she falls a pallet. It will break. But I learned recently, because I'm stupid, that if you have Desolation activated, like you see right there, that perk, then I mean that what's it called, paladin and break. That's because desolation doesn't work if they're oblivious, because it has to do with their terror radius. But when you're oblivious, they're no longer affected by your terror radius. So because of that reason, desolation would never activate, even though I have it on them. So that's the only real problem with this build, is the fact that if a survivor does run into a drone and become oblivious, I can no longer activate desolation, which is really bad. But at the exact same time, it's fine, because honestly, I get more value out of it than I normally do, than I normally probably should. I get rid of that drone so I can place this drone up here. And then I'm going to use my power so I can see where, my radar, so I can see where Nicolas Cage is. But instead, he just runs towards my drone, so I automatically have advanced move prediction, so I can see exactly where he is. So now I'm going to go after him, get him out the game real quick, because honestly, there's no reason for him about to be in my game. Get out. I know he's going to drop his pallet, but instead he just goes around it. But luckily for me, bots are stupid sometimes. Like I said, they're either really good at looping or they're bad. It's weird. When I play a solo game, a bot will loop me like really well, because the bots just know exactly where you're gonna go. You can't really mind game a robot. They can just sense where you are. But when I play online like this with people and they get a bot, the bot's awful. I don't quite understand. But anyway, I'm going back towards this gen, and they're gonna complete it right in front of me with stuff for me. But it's fine, because I'm hoping I can get this girl exposed. But she's smart and able to run away. Now I'm also hoping I can get her to vault a pallet, so it will break with desolation or break with the cloud trap. But she waits to 99 her sprint burst, and then she runs away from me, which is fine. The only problem is, it doesn't matter where you go, I'm still gonna kill you. Also, we didn't get any bird member value out of that gen being completed, because we were right next to her when it was completed. But you're probably wondering, why do I use bitter member in the first place? I always like bitter member as a perk. I do think they should buff it though. Not really big buff, just make it so that way it lasts like 7 or 8 seconds instead of 5. That's the only buff I would do. But other than that, it's a really good perk, because not only does it show the survivors near the gen that's completed, it also shows survivors that are, not only does it show the survivors that are on the gen, it shows survivors that are 16 meters near the gen. So there could be a survivor nowhere near the gen at all. But because of the fact that I basically, they activated the perk, I can still see them anyway. I know exactly where they're gonna go. And because I can sometimes tell, did they stay towards the gen and heal? Did they go toward a different gen? I can tell where they went. Now, sadly, this person has distortion, and it kind of annoyed me, because he completed a gen already, and I never saw his aura. So I'm over here putting drones up to try and activate advanced move prediction, so I can see where he is. But sadly, I'm unable to find where he is. But then bitter member activates, and I can see that girl complete that gen right there, and she can run towards the next gen. But it's fine, because I'm going to be able to get rid of that drone. I don't need that drone anymore, because I know this person, I know that drone already completed. They've already completed 3 gens, but honestly, this is probably all they're gonna do, because now that we almost have bitter murmur, now we almost have grim embrace, all I have to do is find the last person who I haven't hooked one time, hook him, and then grim embrace will activate, and then every single gen will be blocked. I don't think grim embrace is a bad perk at all, actually. The only real problem, there's 2 problems with the perk. The first problem is the requirement. The requirement of the perk is kind of hard to fulfill sometimes. Not like fulfill, but it's kind of like the requirement is weird. You basically have 3 perks the entire game, and then you have a 4th perk once you finally meet the requirement. And then once the perk deactivates, and once the perk is done, you no longer have a perk anymore. And what I mean by that is, once you complete, how do I explain? Once you use the perk deactivates and you can't use it anymore. So basically the perk is useless. So right there, I should have waited to before that pallet broke and then swung. But I'm bad and I accidentally swung immediately. I don't know why I keep doing that. But I noticed over here, this person, I can finally see his aura, because I already got rid of his 3 what's it called? I almost said distressing. I got rid of his 3 stacks of distortion. He's gonna vault this window. I'm gonna be able to hit him. He's like, what the F? And I'm like, yes, I hit you. And I definitely know that was a fair hit, actually. But he's gonna vault it again, but luckily for me, it was a slow vault. So because of that reason, I was able to down him again. So we're gonna vault this window. Now, honestly, I might be using randomized strobes more often, which is a different add-on, because randomized strobes makes them hindered, and when a survivor is hindered, they, they automatically slow vault windows, and because of the new fast vaults, not really the new fast, but the fixed fast vaults, it'll be really good to use that perk. Then I hooked him. I hooked him on a score choke so that way we can activate Pain Resonance, and now every single generator is on a block. And because luckily for me, I did not hook the Obsession. That's the second problem with this perk. Half the time, I end up hooking the Obsession, so then I don't even get value out of it. Because the way it works is once you activate Grim Embrace, you can see the Obsession's aura for 6 seconds. So half the time, I end up hooking the Obsession, so I don't ever see the aura of the person. Luckily for me, I hit the person before they could vault this window. I'm gonna put a drone up here so I can protect this area and see where they are, but they actually go away from the drones, and I had found where they went, and they continue running towards the right. I want to chase them, but like I said, luckily for me, Grim Embrace does show the exact aura of this Obsession, so because of that reason, I can chase the Obsession now, and every single gen is blocked, and I know for the 40 seconds I take to chase the Obsession, not a single gen will be completed. So, I know this guy's gonna body block. I'm not stupid. I'm gonna just walk away from you because that's how you work. I know she can't vault this pallet in time, so I'm gonna hit her. I love lunge hits. So now we're going down this person and we're going to kill them. I believe they're on the second hook, if I remember correctly. And there's a hook right over here, so all I had to do was hook them right here. But now that now that I know there's no more distortion stats, I don't have to worry about much anymore in this game because all I have to do is put drones on the generators and basically I can see the aura of the survivor because of the advanced move prediction. And then even if they complete the gen, I can still see the aura of them because of Bitter Remember. Bitter Remember actually does a lot more than you think. Do I think Bitter Remember is like a top tier perk? No. But I do think Bitter Remember is pretty good. Now they're gonna hit right in front of me for some reason. I know they're gonna have sprint burst, I'm gonna ignore her. I'm gonna go after him. I don't know why he just stood there. He's gonna vault the window, but I can see his aura, so I know exactly where he's going. He's not gonna be able to vault it the second time. If he does, I'm gonna catch him. So this time I'm gonna go around like this, and I'm going to hit him before he can vault, before he can do anything. I know he can't make the window in time. Luckily for me, the pallet's already gone. Luckily for me, the pallet is still up, actually. I know it sounds really weird, why would you want to keep the pallet up? But the reason why it was good is because basically, because the pallet was up, he kind of hesitated on if he wanted to vault it or not. If the pallet was down, then he wouldn't have hesitated at all. He would have just kept going, and I would have keep chasing him, and he probably would have made something else. But because he hesitated, I was able to kill him. And go to his second hook. And it's funny, because we just found this person, now he's already on his second hook. But I'm going to activate this drone. I can see that someone's right there. She's going to deactivate that drone probably. But instead she runs away. I don't know why survivors do that. They like, get the drone. Well, I don't know if she activated the drone by herself and that's why she didn't do it. But she's going to drop this pallet immediately. Oh, but then I saw her at the corner of my eye and I'm like, huh? And I knew I saw her, so I looked back and then she's right there. And I'm like, okay. But she gets stuck, luckily, on this window. And on that window, on this rock, and on this grass, and on this wall, everything. She gets stuck on everything. So I'm able to kill her, but because this pallet right here, I can mind game this though. But then I'm an idiot again. Second time I did it in the same video, literally. Desolation activates, and I still swing. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I need to wait for Desolation to break the pallet, and then continue. I'm gonna activate this drone, so I can just get a little speed buff when I'm picking her up. And I can see that this guy's right here. So I'm gonna go after him because I know that he is definitely in a bad position. I could have hit him right there, honestly, but I just didn't because I thought if I hit him, I wouldn't make the hook. I know she's done on hook, I believe. Yes. So now all I have to do is find these last two survivors. You know, I just saw one of them right now. But I'm gonna go and look over here at this gen just to see if there's someone over here or not. And there actually is no one over here. So now I'm gonna put a totem. He's saying totem. I'm gonna put a drone up there. And now all I have to do is try and find these last two survivors. So I go on top of the main building like usual, or the middle building, so I can try and find the survivor, but I can't see anything. Now I look and I'm like, wait, what are they doing? And they're literally on the hill doing absolutely nothing because they realize they can't win because it's kind of game over. And then I see one behind the tree, so I'm gonna swing after him. But then they both drop down, so I'm gonna go after the girl because I know she has sprint burst, so she's gonna run away first. She's gonna drop this pallet. I'm mentally prepared for that, and she's going to blind me, but it's fine because I don't care about being blinded. I hear about the window. I'm right behind her. I have ears, so I can definitely tell where she went. But I know she's gonna probably do this again. But the boy is just standing still for some reason. I'm like, so you want to die? I guess you want to die. Then he slow vaults. So I grab him. I'm like, sir, are you just giving up? Like, I don't know. And it's weird because I don't know why well, to be fair, he has a bot as a teammate, but his bot teammate died a while ago, so I don't count that as an excuse. But it's funny to me because he gave up, or at least is giving up, because of whatever reason. But in reality, he was actually doing pretty good, and he was the one survivor I never caught. So the fact that he gave up or decided to give up now is so weird to me. But it's fine because killing every survivor is the goal anyway, so who cares if they give up. Now I have to try and find this last survivor or the hatch, whatever comes first. But I know she was right over there near the shack, but now she's definitely gone, so I gotta try and find where she went. Hopefully, if I activate my drones, I'll be able to find her, but nope. One thing also about bit remember is once you close the hatch, you can see the aura of all the survivors. Well, not really all, because you know the hatch only spawns if one survivor is left. But once you close the hatch, you can see the aura of the last survivor, because by closing the hatch, all the generators will technically be completed. And because all the generators will technically be completed, bit remember activates, and you can see the aura of the last survivor for 10 seconds. So all I have to do is try and find this hatch, but the problem is I look everywhere and I don't see it or hear it. So I'm like, where is this hatch at? And then I see her scratch marks, and it hit me that she found the hatch. So I'm looking around with the hatch, and luckily for me, she doesn't actually find the hatch. So now I'm looking for it before she finds it. And instead, she's like, you know what, I give up. But I'm like, I understand, my child, I understand. So I'm debating on, do I want to give you the hatch, or do I want to kill you? So I decided, you know what, I'll be nice. But then I was like, does she deserve the hatch? And normally I'm not nice to these survivors, not like in a rude way, but like because of the fact that like getting as many blood points as possible. That's the reason why I'm normally not nice to them. But I chose to be nice and let her survive. But to be fair, we would have killed every single survivor, honestly, but we just chose to save one. But that was the first game of the video where we showcased both Grim Embrace and Bitter Remember. I think, honestly, both of these perks are pretty good in a combination together. I think this build in general is pretty good. A lot of my builds with Score Merchant have been really good. I know I use Spore Trick Pain Resonance a lot, but that's because it's one of the few perks that are actually really good at stopping gen, like Eruption. But I don't want to use Eruption because it requires me to have to kick every gen. But who knows, maybe I'll use Eruption in more future videos. But let's go towards the second game. Okay, playing on Blood Lodge, Auto Haven Wreckers. This map is really weird because basically it's not more like the biggest map in the world. I think it actually is the biggest Auto Haven's record. No, it's not. It's definitely not. No, nope. This map is weird because like the structure of it is kind of weird. It's like a square, or maybe it's like a weird. It's like a really weird looking square. But this map has really annoying loops in it sometimes. But other than that, it's not really that bad of a map. I'm gonna just drone up here because I saw someone in my corner of my eye, so I realized that someone over here. So I hit this girl immediately and try and chase her because I need her to die immediately. So Desolation is gonna activate now for 20 seconds, so I'm happy. So if he falls that window, I'm going to immediately if he falls this pallet, is going to break. But luckily for me, she doesn't even go towards the pallet. I put a drone in the middle of the chase because I knew I heard someone on the gen, so I was like, wait, I'm just gonna make sure that I get that gen. What's it called? Make sure that gen is being droned up, so they don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about protecting it later on. But I am gonna move that drone eventually, so I can put it in a better spot because honestly, it's kind of not near the gen. It's like on the side. So because of that, we use Pain Resonance so we can of course, regress that gen and keep it regressed. Now, honestly, you probably shouldn't use your Pain Resonance since this is so early, because you won't have any for late game, and they're really good late game. But the reason why I use them, honestly, is because that way it keeps pressure on the survivors, making every gen just be low. So I see that, I can't remember his name, Gabriel, over there, he is gonna get I'll get a claw trap. So I'm going after him, but then I realized after I go after him, he starts running away, so it hits me that he's not gonna try and protect this gen, but I am gonna put a drone there in case. Then I'm gonna go back towards Ashley, because Ashley is in the middle of nowhere, and he thinks he can just do whatever he wants against my Skull Merchant, and he's not wrong. So I'm gonna chase him. He doesn't go inside my drone radius, he's afraid that he'll give me a speed boost or something, or be oblivious, but it's smart. So now I'm gonna have Desolation, and because he didn't go in my drone radius, I know Desolation will actually activate for once. So he's gonna probably drop this pallet immediately, as he does. And I'm going to wait this time. I learned from my last game. Wait. I'm gonna use my what's it called? Bitter Remember to see exactly what the survivors are doing. So they're in the middle of the building, and they're just not middle. They're in the shack, I mean, and they are just healing, which is fine by me. Because if they heal, I know exactly where they are. So basically, I know that Gabriel Soma is probably towards that gen, and I know the last two survivors are in the shack. And that's really good information. So because of that reason, I know exactly what to do. So I see scratch marks, and I'm like, where you at? So because of that reason, I don't know where he went. But then I look, and she went past me. Gabriel's gonna go towards this this hook, but I'm going to hit him. And he drops the pallet for some unknown reason. I don't know why he does that. But he drops the pallet, and now he's in the middle of nowhere. I know if he loops his pallet, it's gonna break things with Desolation. I love Desolation. I knew he was gonna go back towards the pallet. So wait for the break, and then swing. And we learn from our mistakes. Remember that. Learn from your mistakes. So I see another score trick, so I'm like, well, might as well use all my score tricks already. So I use all my score tricks just to make the gens be as low as possible. And notice we've already hooked 3 people. So I'm not hooked yet. Is Jake. I heard someone scream. I'm like, oh, there must be a generator really close to me and the person's on it and pain residence activated. No, it just, she has dramaturgy, I believe what the perk is called, or something like that. And she screamed, and I'm like, oh, okay. So now I'm gonna try and chase her, but there's a pallet right here, and I'm like, there's no way. And because Desolation's not activated anymore, I'm kind of upset. But one thing that annoys me is the fact that in the other version of the game, before the pallets before the loops got fixed and the vaults got fixed, that would have been a hit. But sadly, it was not a hit. I waited for her dead hard. I thought she had dead hard, but she didn't have dead hard, actually. So I'm gonna hook her right on this hook, even though it doesn't go to my drone, but whatever. And we're in a really good position, because we've only done 1 gen, and we hooked every survivor besides Jake once, and we've hooked this girl twice, so the next time I hook her, she's dead. And I think we're in a really good position, not to mention once we hook Jake, we'll automatically have, a Grim Embrace and block every gen. So I'm gonna show you a really cool spot. By the way, I plan on making a video on drone locations, and I actually have just started to record it. So stay tuned for that. By the way, every single map in the game, maybe besides the alien one. I might wait, because in case you don't know, alien got announced earlier this week. So I'm going to probably also wait until the alien comes out, and then I can do some drone placements on that map too. But there'll be a video about drone placements. It'll be really, really long, so please stay tuned for that. But I'm gonna show you a really good drone placement right there. Put the drone on the top building. The only problem with that drone spot is you have to keep activating it in order for the drone to actually, stay active. But it makes survivors not want to do the drone, not want to do the generator, because the drone is activated. So right here, I'm going to immediately put that there. But I want to try and find Jake, because Jake is the last person I have the hook to activate Grim Embrace. But instead I find Ashley, but it's fine. As long as I can get Ashley exposed, because there's a drone right here, then we're good. But Ashley's smart, and he's not going to actually get exposed. I want to go towards this gen, have a strange feeling someone's on it, because they've been on it the entire time, and lo and behold, gets on it, it is Jake. I know Jake has sprint burst, why else would you be walking like that? I'm not stupid. He's gonna go drop this pallet. Now the only problem is because I hit him, because he ran into my drone radius, I know that he has Desolation's not gonna activate. So I'm trying to hit him. The reason why I'm taking this chase, even though I know I'm nowhere near any of the gens, so they can easily do gens while I'm gone, is because I know that if I hit him and down him and hook him, then I know I have a Grim Embrace. So this pallet's already down, so I'm gonna go on top of this hill and try and mind game Bowser. I thought he would be smart and go double back, knowing I'm going to try and go on top of the hill, but instead he just continues going over here. He's really weird. He drops every single pallet, including the one after I hit him, by the way. But now it's fine because Desolation activated. But the problem is he's going towards the shack. I know I can't really win in the shack, except I can make him vault the pallet. Then I put a drone right here, and I realized, wait, this drone's gonna mess me up, because now Desolation's not gonna activate anymore because he's no longer in the drone radius. Well, because he's oblivious. But luckily, after dropping every single pallet in the entire map, for some reason he chose to be smart and not drop the pallet. So I hear someone behind me, and I swing immediately because I know someone's there, but I miss. I'm like, hello. And then I had to look down. I don't know why I had to look down in order to hit them, but I had to look down. So I'm afraid that he has power struggle, so I purposely go this way. And now I look, and I can see the aura of Soma because of Bitter Murmur. Sadly, he has sprint burst, so I can't really do much about it. And because I didn't hit anyone, I don't get any value out of the I don't really get any value. But luckily for me, he is going to probably get himself exposed because he's stupid. And I'm like, okay, expose yourself. And he's smart, and he's like, I'm gonna go leave. But I can afford this chase because Grim Embrace is here. They can't do any gens. But sadly for me, because again he was in my drone radius, Desolation's not gonna activate. But now he should no longer be oblivious anymore. But he is so oblivious, so because of that reason, Desolation doesn't activate, and I'm like, okay. And I'm kind of mad because That's the only problem. I learned this like a few days ago. Once I used this build, I was like, wait, Desolation's gonna activate. I mean, Des is not gonna work because he oblivious. But luckily for me, I'm unattackable, so I have no red thing. So because of that reason, he didn't know that I was gonna swim right there. So I'm gonna hook him right here. That's the only problem with this build, by the way. Make sure you pay attention when you use your add-ons. I always use Brown Noise Generator. I have seen Score Merchant players not use Brown Noise Generator. I personally think it's just the best add-on, because not because like it's broken or anything. It's really just because I know how survivors work. A lot of survivors will try and do gens inside of your drone radius, knowing it's gonna expose them, but they don't care. So to punish that, I just use Brown Noise Generator to make them oblivious. That way they don't know where I'm coming from, so I can down them pretty fast. That's the main reason why I do it. I sit right here for a minute just so I can try and see if a survivor's gonna try and come back, but they don't come back. So now I'm going towards this generator on the, well, not on the, but near the hill, hoping I can get a survivor, but there's no survivors in sight actually. Kind of funny because before they were everywhere, now they're just nowhere. But I'm gonna reactivate this drone. I can tell they're probably at the far gen over there, but I go back over here, guys. Knew someone was gonna try and go back over here, and lo and behold, it's Soma. So I'm pretty sure Soma's gonna be our first kill because Soma's like, I will complete this gen. I'm like, you will not touch this gen. But the only problem is he went inside my drone radius again, so now he's oblivious and he can't, and now Desolation won't activate, which sucks for me. But it's fine because if I can down him, we're good. But I know he's gonna vault. I know he's gonna try and go in his window, but he is smart. He's like, yeah, I'm not gonna vault this window yet. Now he vaults. I'm gonna vault this pallet. I'm like, you know what? I'm done. So I'm gonna swing. I'm like, there we go. You're gonna work. So now I'm going to continue chasing him, but this time Desolation is actually gonna work because of the fact that he's not in the he's not oblivious. So because of that reason, this pallet is gonna drop. All I have to do is wait for him to vault this pallet, and Desolation will activate, and then he will die. But he's some reason why he's not gonna vault the pallet. I'm like, okay. And he's still not gonna vault the pallet. I'm like, you know what? It's fine. Then I miss, and I'm like, you know what? He's gonna vault the pallet now, isn't he? But luckily for me, I'm able to hit him before he can actually vault the pallet. So I was gonna go after the person who just got exposed, which is Jake. But because I see he's not on the gen anymore, I don't care. Basically, that's how I feel about it. So this guy right here, he's like, I'm going to take a hit for you. I'm like, okay, you do that. I'm almost certain he has Metal of Man, but then I'm smart, and I realize that his flashlight, his what's it called, medkit's gone. So I'm like, he definitely has endurance. So I'm gonna wait. So I'm stupid. I thought I'll block this pallet, like I missed my hit, but luckily for me, I blocked the pallet so he can't drop it. I thought the endurance status effect lasted 12 seconds. You'll see at the end of the match that it actually only lasts 5 seconds, but for some reason I thought it lasted 12 seconds, so I was waiting out for 12 seconds to see if I could get a hit or not, but I didn't get a hit at all. So Jake is still exposed, but I know Jake is not going to go near me because he's exposed. A smart player would never do that. So I'm mentally prepared for him to not be near me. I'm going to break this pallet because it's in my way. And then I want to find the girl. I believe the girl's dead on hook, so I'm like, Jake's not dead on hook, but I know the girl is. So I'm going to try and find the girl, but instead I find Jake, because I finally found where he was, because he's like, oh. Some reason why he thinks I don't have eyes, but I clearly have eyes. And the best part is, because he has sprint burst, he wasted his sprint burst and got hit. Now he's super far away, which is bad for me. But because I know he has no longer any sprint burst, I can chase him easily. And Desolation is going to activate because he is not in the drone radius. But now he will be in the drone radius. I'm going to activate right here. So now I can see exactly where he goes, and he's oblivious. But for some reason, instead of trying to mind game the window, he just runs. I don't quite understand why. So we're going to hook him right now on the Scorch hook that's right in front of us. But the problem is we already hooked him on Scorch, I believe. Oh no, we didn't. He's the last person we hooked. So now every single Scorch hook pain resonance is gone, and whatever generator that had the most progress lost 25%, which is good for me. And I'm perfectly fine with that. The only problem is now I have to go and find the survivors. I'm going to put this pallet that's in my way. Bye. Now we're going to go over here and try and find the last survivors. I didn't hear anyone on that gen over there, so I knew they weren't on that gen. I can't play a drone over here because it's near the hook. I see scratch marks, so it hit me that this girl is definitely going to try and go for the rescue. But it's fine by me, because now I know you're dead on hook, so I'm going to go after you. Far range hits are the best. Also, at the time of recording this video, Score Merchant got a new got a new skin that looks really good. Jake kills himself on the hook. He's like, I'm not playing this game anymore. Ugh. Luckily for me, I have Desolation, so she's gonna vault this pallet and it's going to break. But for some reason, these survivors love to loot pallets and not vault them. But luckily for me, I hit her before she even vaults. The reason why I swung right there, like I told you before, swing after the pallet break, I was afraid Desolation would deactivate before she vaulted it. So I was like, well, I have to swing. But I did not swing. But I mean, I have to swing, and then luckily for me, I hit her anyway. So I see Scratch Mark, so I know that Ash is over here. So part of me wants to give Ash the hatch the same way how I gave the person the hatch last time. But at the same time, I'm like, last time I was nice, this time I'll be rude. So I'm gonna chase Ash. He is so close to being, he's like halfway to becoming exposed. But sadly for me, he finds the hatch, and he's like, bye. And I'm like, oh, okay. So now I have Ruthless Killer instead of, you know, being the best Merciless Killer. But it's fine by me though, because everyone died and I got really good value out of the build. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you also tell me if you enjoy the build or not. I always try to use perks that synergize well with each other, or at least use different strategies in general. But I try to use different perks that like no one sees. No one ever sees the perk Grim Embrace, and no one ever uses the perk Bitter Remember. They're really good perks, actually. They just have really niche requirements. But anyway, I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a nice day.